Alright, so in today's video, I want to go over how to find the perfect sensitivity for you. Now, I want to cover a lot of topics, like how to just fine-tune your sensitivity, how to go to a brand new sensitivity, and what I recommend in terms of like the practices to figure out your sensitivity and stuff like that. If you guys do enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like, be sure to comment, and be sure to subscribe. But let's get into this. Now, for my keyboard people, continue to watch this video because these tips can still help you, even though I'm going to be going over stuff for a controller. The warm-ups and the practices and stuff to do will still help your sensitivity and understand it and learn it. All right, now the order of this video is going to be me explaining my sensitivity, the reasoning for my sense. I'm going to go over the most likely reason you're here, and that's to generally how to fine-tune the sense you're on right now. And then at the end, I want to talk over how to completely go to a new sense, like brand new sense. Starting off with my sensitivity, why do I use 50-100 with a 1924 advanced settings and 90 FOV? This might help you understand what to do for you, but this is simple. I like to be able to look around super fast. If someone's behind me, I don't want to be on a slow-ass snail sensitivity. So that's why I use the 50-100. Now, I also like the advantages that a slow sense gets. So that is why I use the 1924. Because, yes, I can look around fast, but when I'm aimed down sights, my aim is nice and slow. I would recommend a slower ADS. I think a slower ADS is a lot better. But that is why I use the slower ADS. Now, at the same time, it's like, okay, well, that's still a little bit too slow. So what do? We put on these advanced settings, and these basically mean that if I have to flick onto somebody, if I move my analog stick a little bit to the right too fast or too much, like once it gets to a certain point to the right, if I have to aggressively flick, it's going to turn on these settings and basically increase my ADS sensitivity so I can still flick while having a fast horizontal and while having a slow ADS for the normal aiming. That is my logic behind using my sense. That does not mean you have to, but it's just something to take into consideration with looking around fast and also being on the slower ADS side. Now, how do you fine-tune your sensitivity right now? Okay, what I want you to do is you have to figure out if your sense is too fast or too slow for you. So that way we can find like a starting ground. Now, how do we do this? This is very simple. Come into the shooting range, go onto the big ball, put it on one target, put it on run, and put it on near. I want you to try and follow this ball right here, okay? Now, if you're like this and you can't catch up to this ball, that means that your sensitivity is too slow. It should be a little bit faster. Now, if you're somebody who's way far ahead and like you're like not able to like really follow this ball, like you're just throwing it so far ahead, you should lower your ADS or your sensitivity. Now, if you're somebody who can generally keep up with it, like it does not need to be perfect, like look, just generally be able to follow the ball like this, you're good, and you probably just need more practice on your sensitivity, and maybe if you want to lower your ADS a little bit, but that would be about it. But let's just say the most likely reason that I notice a lot when it comes to people who struggle with sensitivity is that their sense is too fast for them. Now, a too fast of sensitivity can really mess with your aim. It can mess with your recoil. So this is what I would recommend. If you don't know, your vertical and horizontal also affect your ADS. So you may see me on 1924 and be like, oh, I'm going to try that out. And you just put that ADS on and it's slow. You're like, what the hell is this? But that is because 50-100 with 1924 is different from, let's say, 30-50 with 1924. So that is why when I see people changing their sense all the time, I always tell them, I'm like, listen, if you're going to change your sense, just simply focus on your ADS because you don't want to have to relearn 3 different sensitivities. Just what I would recommend to you guys who are looking to try and really fine tune that sense is leave the horizontal, leave the vertical, and just touch your ADS. That's it. It's not worth it to constantly change. Now, hold on. Now, I'm not saying to never change your vertical and never change your horizontal. Maybe lower it a little bit if it's way too fast for you. But for the most part, I would just focus on changing the ADS. Now, I would recommend lowering the ADS from between 3 and 4 at a time. Come back in here, and then just try this out again. Now, when you first do this, I promise you, you are not going to be perfect at all. But give it some time to just, like, kind of get used to it. Like, when you first change your sense -3 or -4, you're gonna be shit on it. But, like, give yourself, like, I would say 3 minutes on it, or even just the whole, like, 2-minute drill, and see how much better you get with it. If it's still super bad, lower it. If it's really bad, like, maybe increase it. If it's, like, too slow again. Like I said, just keep doing this. Now, this is one way to do it. If you don't like this way, look at the dummy right here. This is the second test that I usually do. I want you to simply strafe and follow him like this. Look, you look at him like this, and you just want to follow the dummy. Go from the right and go from the left. Just go like this. I promise you on everything, the first maybe 4 tries is gonna look horrendous. Like, it's gonna look like a fucking copper, bro. You're gonna look like shit. And that's completely fine. You gotta understand something. I have probably done over like 300 sensitivity videos on my channel. And when I first put on people's sensitivities, my aim is ass. It is not good. You are not gonna be good on a sensitivity when you first try it out. I promise you. But you want to kind of gauge it. That's why I say only minimally change it and not a lot. Because you want to really see what you should lower, what you shouldn't. So just lower it a little bit. Practice on it. If it's still ass, lower it a little bit more. The ADS, practice on it. And then you're going to find a nice middle ground for this. Now, these are 2 great ways to do it. 100%. But I would say that my next favorite way is to simply do free-for-alls. And how do you do that? If you don't know, you just go to the main menu, go to arcade, the settings bar at the bottom, turn off everything that's not free-for-all. When you do free-for-alls, you're going to be running around, quickly taking gunfights, and it's just very fast-paced. So it will help you with your sensitivity. You can keep making errors and keep learning the patterns. It will really help you with the recoil. Your sensitivity is going to directly reflect your recoil, okay? Because you have to understand something. So I have very good recoil control. Why is that? There's 2 reasons. One, I've learned the patterns. How do we learn the patterns? We do what I just did. We shoot up in the air and we look at the patterns. Okay, for an SMG-12, we want to get it to be in a straight line like this, right? So how do we get that? It goes up, which means we have to pull down. It goes to the left, which means we have to pull right. Goes more to the left, pull right. Goes more to the left, pull right. Then pull right. Pull right, pull right, pull right. So you're really just going to be pulling down and to the right. Once you can learn these patterns, you can simply focus on learning how much you need to be pulling to the right on your sensitivity. But you have to kind of like learn the pattern first. That is why I am able to have very good recoil control with every weapon that I use. Because 1, I learn the patterns. I understand how much to pull down. But 2, I don't change my sense. So it will help you if you learn the patterns, because then you can really learn on your sensitivity how much you need to pull down. But every time that you change your sense, you have to relearn all those patterns again, because you have to learn how much to pull down. That's why I never change my sense ever. That's why what I'd recommend is if you are going to change your sense, you just change the ADS and you just minimally lower it. That is it. You can literally laser people once you learn your sensitivity and you learn the patterns. It's so simple. Now, I'd also recommend looking at your FOV. I am somebody who plays on 90 FOV. You're gonna notice, like, when I do different people's sensitivity videos, if they're on a lower FOV, my aim or my recoil feels faster. So when I play on a higher FOV, it doesn't feel as fast, or it feels different. So FOVs are gonna change how the sensitivity does feel. So I'd recommend maybe increasing your FOV a little bit. So before I move on to the next subject with like really trying to find a brand new sense, if you need to fine tune your sense, lower the ADS, keep the horizontal vertical. Go into the shooting range, follow the balls, strafe left and right, and do free-for-alls. And just practice it. That's all you have to do. Maybe best with the FOV, but then just stop changing your sense. You want to learn the recoil patterns on that sensitivity, but first, tune it a little bit. Now, to the people who are kind of brand new and are like, I need something fresh, I need something new, I would recommend this. I would not recommend 5100. I think it'll be fast for a newer player. It'll be faster for somebody if you are used to a slow sense. Going straight to 100 will be chalked. But what I'd recommend is try something like my old sense. I used to play on 35. I think it was 3560. So I used to play on a while ago, like I think a couple years ago. And this is a nice middle ground. You get the fast horizontal. You get the lower vertical. But I do think I played a little bit faster ADS with this because it was a little bit too slow for me. I think I played on like 2530 or something like that. Give this something like this a try if you want to be on a middle ground fast sensitivity. Just generally something like this. Now, if the ADS feels too fast, definitely lower it. If you're somebody who wants to go from a slow to a faster, try this out. This is a good sensitivity. Now, if you're somebody who is a fast sensitivity player, like let's say 5100, and you want a lower sense, I think you go to a medium sense as well. I don't think you have to go to a super slow sense. I think go to a medium sense. Something like 30 vertical, 55 horizontal. Or 30 vertical, 60 horizontal, like I showed earlier. I think it's a good middle ground for anybody who wants to go from like really fast to low, or from really low to fast. You do not need these advanced settings either. Like, you do not need to copy these. A lot of people, I actually think I'm the only person who uses these. I'm not going to lie to you. every creator that I've ever seen does not use these. I like these. It helps with my sensitivity specifically, like I mentioned earlier, for the reasons why, but you don't need to use these. Hopefully that does help. Hopefully you guys can get the best sensitivity possible, but let me know what other tip videos you want to see. But I love y'all. See y'all